Welcome to the Site Cabin Podcast, episode 6?
6.
Is it 6? It is 6, isn't it?
6, yeah.
I actually, just as I was sort of saying that, then I sort of thought, shit, what episode is it?
I'm still not sure it's 6.
No, it is 6. I'll tell you why it's
6.
6, because this is actually our 7th episode, but because we did one and there was a slight issue with the sound, we didn't release that one, didn't we? So this is episode 6.
Episode 6.
This is episode 6. How are we both?
Good.
We all right?
Good.
What have we been up to since? Doesn't feel that long ago since we actually recorded this time, does it?
No.
Has Danny had a hair? Have you had a hair?
Danny has had a trim. He's had a little trim.
New barbers.
Is that for your Only Dance page?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you started your only dance page?
Not yet. Not yet.
Start taking your clothes off.
Can't get this right. Never mind logging on to that.
Yeah, you're looking pretty sharp there, Danny.
Well, moved house, didn't I?
Yeah. So you mentioned that last time.
Moved house. Tried new barbers.
Tried. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
yes.
it's good.
How was it? Was it?
It was good. It was good. It was barbers in the village where I live, and it was cheaper than where I used to live.
Bonus,
I suppose. But nice trim.
Yeah.
Did my beard, but then he said, "Would you like your nostrils doing?"
Oh, did he?
I was a bit like, "Oh, okay." I'm not, I mean, I've been in construction all my life. Not really look after you. You don't really manscape.
Listen. Modern men have to trim.
I'm getting into this.
Modern men have to trim.
Manscaping, and he basically said, "Do you want your nose doing?" And got buds. And dipped them in this hot wax, shoved them up your nose, let it go off, put a warm towel on, and then.
Did it feel good? Did it feel refreshing?
It felt great.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
good.
it's the most because normally, without being too nasty, you look a bit like Grizzly Adams or
Thor.
Well, Fat Thor.
I had it done because I went to Ibiza.
Another holiday.
Went on holiday.
Jesus,
And
you got some money. You have.
and,
Construction. What's construction boys do all right, And girls.
And
How was Ibiza?
Good.
Did you go clubbing?
Not really. I had the children with me.
Oh, gutted.
Did a catamaran to a private island.
Did ya?
That was good. Yeah.
Did you see anything construction going on?
I did actually. Well, I was gonna mention it. I did actually. With the place where we stayed, it was a lovely hotel. It was a beach club in a quiet part of Ibiza. But a couple of things happened. Nothing major. Nothing to concern about the hotel. But the first night we got there, the aircon wasn't working.
No.
So I was like, oh God, I'm gonna need that.
You're gonna need that. You definitely need that. Being from the north,
You can
show the North Cup later on.
So 11 o'clock at night, called the
maintenance guy.
Maintenance guy.
Did ya?
And pretty great, nice guy came, fixed it straight away. It was something to do with the sensor.
Did he have like a full tool belt of all different tools?
No, he had a box. He had a toolbox.
Yes.
And he was talking Spanish, so I couldn't obviously understand.
Did he go, Daniel, Site Cabin Podcast?
No. I did actually say, have you seen it? No.
Should have got a subscribe. That would have got us a Spanish subscriber.
I should have done it, but he came at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And it was still boiling, and he did the work, he fixed it. He was only there 10 minutes. Then what amazed me the next day, so our first proper day.
Yeah.
We were walking through the hotel. It's quite a lot of steps in it, but it was nice. And the same guy was painting the floor.
Nice.
And this was like 8:30 in the morning.
So he's fixed an aircon unit.
Yeah.
And he's also
doing
a bit of painting.
It was because it was near the pool. It was like this non-slip paint, this blue paint, and it got me thinking about the podcast. And I thought, we've not talked about maintenance guys.
No, we haven't.
And
girls. No, we haven't really. And to be honest, maintenance. This is a difficult subject because a lot of tradespeople, classic tradespeople, biblical trades.
Yeah. So
biblical trades are, well, from the Bible, so to speak, but biblical trades, joinery carpenters, bricklayer, stonemason, plasterers to a certain extent, biblical trades.
Not painters.
Not painters. Well, no, there's always
Didn't have any,
no, you don't have to have a go at the painters.
Didn't have any bloody site supervisors in biblical times.
Well, you probably did.
Yeah, they were probably, no.
No, yeah, but the only difference is they might have had like a bit of a whip.
That shows what they're like, though. I mean,
it does, but
shows what they're like.
That's,
modern day, they've got a pen.
That's also, the whip is the pen. I like it.
Yeah.
The red pen is the whip. Yeah. No, I mean, going back to the pyramids and things like that, the common thought now is that it wasn't built by like a slave workforce. It was built by tradespeople because of all the amount of time it would have took them if humans built it. Actually, before we go off the subject far too quickly, what I was getting at was that modern construction trades, maintenance is a very, very, very modern trade.
Can maintenance people get taken advantage of a bit because they are multi-skilled, like multi-use? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that say it's not a trade. How can it be a trade? Because you're not specialising in one area. You kind of... what you're doing exactly that. You're fixing one electrical machine.
Fix an air conditioning sensor,
yeah.
and then next minute he's painting floors.
Yeah.
And I thought, fair play to the guy.
And then tomorrow he's probably fixing a lock or whatever.
yeah.
Or
Well, I saw him again. I saw him again on the holiday.
what was he called? Did you get his name?
I didn't speak to him.
Oh,
But I just
shout out to the Ibiza maintenance chap.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. He was good with the kids. Great with the kids. But
Entertainer as well.
yeah. I think he was part of the entertainment team. Actually. No, but he was.
Hang on a minute, you were painting the floor this morning.
No, there was a problem with. They had a bit of a storm, and one of the grids, so he dug
Blocked.
it up, got an SDS actually,
Nice.
dug it up, replaced the tiles, replaced the gutter, and did it all near the pub.
So basically, you spent a week in Ibiza observing, secretly watching a maintenance guy,
watching maintenance,
and just sort of checking out how he does all the things and amazed by all the
I was
different-
amazed with everything
Yeah.
he did. I was like, fair play.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, can every trade that's watching right now, can every single trade honestly say that they could easily do a specific job around the house? There might be a certain amount of jobs they can do, but can they fix an electrical problem? Can they do a plumbing problem? Can they fix a joinery problem, a masonry problem?
I know joiners who can only do first fix work.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And they can't fit a kitchen.
Yeah,
Or
I
they
know.
can't do They can't do elements of second fix.
Yeah.
So I know joiners who only do second fix but can't put a roof on.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like bricklayers. There's bricklayers that can only lay bricks one on top of two in a run in the middle of a
Yeah, they
wall.
can't corner
They
up
can't
and-
corner
no,
up, or
no.
they're not very good at cornering up, or they stay clear of kind of like fancy church work, if you like, posh work.
I'm saying about painters. I know we have a bit of a dig at them, but painters who can't wallpaper, paint and decorators.
Well, yeah.
They should be able to wallpaper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree. We had this
If
discussion.
you
On
say about that, how do joiners get into first fix, second fix? Do they just fall into it?
I think every joiner should be able to do first fix, second fix, structure. I think they should be all joiners should be able to do structural work.
yeah, roofing, yeah,
elements of kitchen fitting. The problem is with it,
ironmongery.
The construction in general has been that broken up. Like plasterers is a great one.
Great example.
Because of
Explain what you mean by why plasterers.
so like for a plasterer to me should be able to do should be able to board it, skim it,
Yeah.
bond it,
Yeah.
render, floating.
plastering's
finishing.
been broken up into about 3 different trades, really, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Well, maybe so. You've got plasterers. You've got plasterers now that only skim the surface of the board. You've got, you've got dry liners, if you like, that are boarders that will just come in and board a room.
Yeah.
You've got
Like dot and dabbing.
dot
you've
and
got
dabbing, yeah.
Renders. It's just rendering now.
Yeah,
I mean,
people
it's quite
just do
popular,
rendering the exterior of a building.
Yeah.
In the past, that would just be that's what a plasterer
you
would
do,
just do,
yeah.
really.
I mean, and it's same with joinery. You'll just get kitchen fitters. You'll just get first fix. You'll just get second fix. Brickies. You might get brickies now who just do the block work.
Yeah, I mean, and then you'll get stonemasons who say that they're a stonemason. You'll get bricklayers who say they're a bricklayer, but you'll also get bricklayers and stonemasons that say they can do both.
Oh yeah.
I know
well.
someone who just does the trenches, so get up to the
Yeah, the footing,
yeah.
the foundations.
Foundations, yeah.
Yeah,
And then he's
Well,
done, straight
on,
on.
on a lot of modern sites now, it's just the ground workers. The ground workers will do the foundations up to damp, and then the bricklayers come in from damp. So in a sense, it's the same sort of thing, really, Jake.
I still don't agree with that. I agree with them doing the foundations and the concreting.
Yeah.
But I think the bricklayer should do below damp. I don't understand why a ground worker is laying
The ground
those-
worker who does that work will probably call himself, or and quite possibly will be, a trained, qualified bricklayer.
Yeah.
But they will only do it to damp, if you know what I mean. That is part of their job role. So I know what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I
Because
think
I
a
think
lot.
the brickie should be responsible
Yeah, but it's
from
back-breaking work. It's horrible.
get
It
the
is.
turbo block.
Yeah, then big, massive turbo block. I mean,
Boil everything out then.
yeah, talking about technologies from last episode. Turbo block. Wow, what a difference that's made to foundations.
Yeah.
If turbo block are like huge, great big, not square, but huge, great big sort of oblongy block.
yeah.
They're like 3 blocks in one, but obviously they're bigger, so it's like pyramid block
Yeah,
almost.
it is, yeah.
Except we know how we cut them.
Yeah.
And then
we-
talking about technology, like being a dumbass who don't know anything, how come plasterboard doesn't come skimmed? Why can't you do that?
Well, that's a really good question.
Surely that's easier.
You actually can buy
it.
skimmed, ready skimmed plasterboard, but as you might expect, it's really, really expensive
Yeah.
compared to just normal board.
Yeah.
Tell you-
What about like paying a plasterer all his however expensive wages though? What's the
I tell you what you can get as well. What? Well, you mean in terms of paying him his wages to skim it?
yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
And,
I don't know of
I
any
just don't
house
get
builders.
why it's never been a thing. Like, why would you board it then skim it?
because you can still only get a manoeuvrable board, can't you? Right.
Yeah. So what there is you can board a room.
Yeah.
You can tape the joints where the boards meet, and then you can if it's smoothed out correctly, just the joints, it's good enough for decorating. But that's no plaster at all. All house builders will board, skim, fill the joints, and leave it like a finished. That's the finished sort of article, isn't it? Basically, if you was to buy the boards ready skimmed and fit them, you still have to pay for fitting. You'd probably still have to finish the joints off in some sort of finish. So I just think it's probably too expensive. That's probably the reason why it's sort of not done. The only time I've ever done it is when I did some fireboarding at the back of my log burner that I fitted. You helped me fit it, actually.
Oh yeah.
I talked about the log burners on the last episode, actually.
Yeah.
And
Well, winter's coming,
winter is coming.
So-
Winter is coming.
and the bloody gas is going up and electric.
Oh my God, ridiculously! Yeah, I know. But Jay, how are you? How are you?
Yeah, good. Not done much.
You are not done much. Not
been
been
sitting waiting.
You've
for
not been
Dan come
to
off
any
order.
far-flung countries this this
No,
month?
not this time.
Not yet. No, fair enough. So today's episode is sort of a bit of a mixture of quite a few different things, really.
Yeah.
We've got some more statistics for you. We've got a little bit of a chat on health and safety. Talk about the table and things going on the table, as always. Got some new cups for the table.
Yeah.
Do you like your new cups?
Danny said this one is about actual site managers. So
What does it say,
just
that
so you
one?
know, complete bastard. His words, not mine.
Yeah, Danny, what's your cup say? Just remind me.
Winter is coming.
Winter is
so
coming.
Obviously, reference to construction, but also Game of Thrones.
You
as
being
well.
a Northman, and winter's
Northman,
coming.
and winter is certainly coming.
I mean, we're thinking about doing a full episode on weather, weren't we? And talking
Yeah.
about like weather in construction and the types of weather and how we've talked a lot about the heat over the last couple of
Yeah,
episodes,
yeah.
but rain, frost, cold, what it's like to kind of
I'd rather work in rain, snow,
yeah.
damp, cold than work in the heat.
Yeah, me too. Totally agree. I'd rather work in the cold weather all day long than work in the hot
know,
weather.
if-
Sorry, Jay, what does your cup say?
It's Lionel Richie. Sorry. Hello, is it tea you're looking for?
Hello, is it tea you're looking for?
It reminds me of our old colleague Roy. One of them kind of jokes. Shout out to
Yeah,
Roy.
like a shit dad joke. Actually, we did
he
consider,
would.
didn't
He
we?
would say that as well.
We did consider having a Roy's joke of the week at one stage, didn't we?
We could get a pre-recorded
A
one.
pre-recorded Roy's joke of the week, or anybody's joke of the week. Maybe someone watching could send in like a really shitty joke. Maybe one of our subscribers
Yeah.
could send in a shitty joke.
I'd ask Roy to subscribe, but he probably won't do.
Yeah, or one of our patrons.
Yeah.
I think Roy might be a subscriber actually.
Oh, is he?
I think he could be, yeah.
Oh, we can
But if
send
one
a
of our
joke in.
subscribers or one of our patrons want to send in a really poor joke of the week, we'll mention it on the next episode if you want.
Yeah.
We'll actually say it out. So we'll say out the shitty joke of the week.
Just on cups, Dave. I've noticed this blue one.
Yeah, go on, read it out. I can't remember what it
Keep
says.
calm and carry on doing sod all. That's obviously the site manager's cup.
Yeah, site manager. Well, it's
Oh,
next to
it's
the
got
site manager.
two of them, two
It's
of
a complete bastard and keep calm and carry on doing sod all. Yeah, it's next to the site managers. So, so I thought we'd refresh ourselves with some of the comments and some of the talking points of last month's episode.
Right.
So we mentioned on last month's episode that the tallest building for 3,800 years, the tallest man-made structure, man-made, who knows, was the Great Pyramid. So, and then I think one of us said the second one after that would have been the Eiffel Tower. It wasn't actually. It was at one stage one of the tallest buildings that man had ever made. But after the pyramids, it was, does anybody know? It was St. Paul's Cathedral in London.
Nice.
So it was Christopher Wren St. Paul's Cathedral, which also, by the way, has the largest, or did have the largest ever at one time, single dome.
Dome. Yeah, I've been up it.
Single. You've been up.
Yeah, I've
St
been-
Paul's Cathedral?
I've been up St Paul's Cathedral.
That's not like a euphemism.
No,
You know,
no.
I've been up.
did
I
the
mean, I've
tour,
done St. Paul. You know,
went up the steps and then went on the outside of it
I've
as well.
been inside it. I think.
Yeah, you can go right up to the top, look down. I've done that one. And
Annie, you seem to have been to all these great monuments.
and, went
you
to
and Jacob actually.
St. Peter's Basilica did the tour around that.
Yeah.
as
So
well.
yeah, I'm going to Rome in March, so
For
maybe we can
God's
get somewhere.
sakes.
Now there's a place for construction.
Yeah, the
We
Colosseum.
should do a live.
Yeah, we'll get.
We should do a live.
We should do a live. If
The
you go to the Colosseum, you should do a live from the
got
Colosseum.
The hat. You got to take that. Yeah.
You've got to take the hat on holiday.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd been there. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
that's
St
amazing.
Paul's, yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm surprised that was next, actually.
Yeah, as in tallest buildings. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
So yeah,
I've probably got the information here on when it was actually built. I can't quite remember.
but
I can open my Google and sort of have a quick look. Where is it? Where is it? A visual timeline of the tallest historical structures.
well, that's interesting. Let's talk
Okay,
through-
so we know about the pyramid.
yeah,
Okay. This isn't in any order, so don't anyone start having a go at us. I'm just going to read some of them out. The Washington Monument was once the tallest.
okay, yeah,
You know the one that Spider-Man climbs up?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Built by slaves.
Was it?
Yeah,
Was it built by slaves?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Well, I suppose so. With the Americans' checkered history.
I've never been there. I'd like to go.
To Washington or to
No,
America?
well, to Washington.
Jacob's like there every week, basically, isn't he?
Every day. Yeah.
He's there all the time. Let's sort of have a look. I'm just skipping through some of these. What's the next one? What's our next one? Warsaw Radio Mast in Poland for a time was one of the largest structures man ever built. Burj Khalifa, we talked about that. Do you know how much it was? How much did it cost to build that building? I'll have a guess.
But
Bearing in mind, like Wembley cost like 800 million or something, didn't it? What a balls up that was, by the way.
yeah, and then Cardiff Stadium was 80 million.
80 million for Cardiff Stadium, yeah. How can it be 10 times more? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Burj Khalifa was $1.5 billion it cost to make that building.
Have you seen what they're on about building around it?
No.
Like, I don't know, I'm halfway up, say, they're on about building like a full circular, like, village town around it, if that makes sense.
Jesus Christ. I mean, some of the building projects in Dubai, I mean, there's the Palm. It's shaped
Yeah,
palm.
in the sea. Yeah,
There was the World Project, wasn't where so they created landmass in the sea
Yeah,
to match the world, and you could buy like the UK and live on the UK.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it didn't really fully get off the ground. So there's a few parts of it completed, but the majority of it's not got off the ground. I think it was a problem to do with the sea coming in and out of the areas, and it was like staying in and stagnating and basically stinking. The water was starting to stink.
And have you seen the projects in Saudi Arabia, the mirrored skyscraper?
Oh, that
Oh,
looks
yeah.
unbelievable. That looks absolutely. What's it called again? What's that called?
Yeah, it's
It's called something like. One of you needs to Google that. We need to check that out. But it's an unbelievable project. That so
I
it's
love
like
that tale. It's like
they're
80
making
miles.
the city. Obviously not that big. It's not a city for borrowers.
They can build.
They can build them borrowers, can't they? Yeah. So could the Fraggles actually. Remember Fraggle Rock? They could build really well. Anyway, they're making a city really, really long and really, really high, but really, really thin in comparison to other cities. And it's got glass on either side, and it's complete. The whole city will be completely and utterly kind of like, sort of carbon neutral, basically. And it's got loads of AI going on. They're actually doing this. They're actually going to start building it. You think you could live in a place like that? I can't remember how wide it is. We need to check that stat. Have you? Can Jay's getting it up on his phone?
I'd struggle with that.
Yeah. Do you think you'd feel a little bit like cramped? A little
No,
bit like.
I think I could do it.
Do you reckon you could do it? Because it's obviously going to be quite high rise, but loads of different levels, and you'll never be like further than sort of like a walking distance to a doctor's surgery or the police or the emergency services or entertainment things.
Saying 200 meters wide, so it's not small, is
200 meters wide. 200 meters.
100 miles long.
100 miles
Is there
long.
a documentary on it?
No, it's like this. There's a video out at the moment about it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What's the name of it, Jay? What's it actually called?
Just skyscraper city, I think, at the minute.
Skyscraper City.
No.
It's like something out of the future, though, isn't it? Really.
Don't think.
But how long does it take to build something like that? 100 miles.
I think it's a project that you start and your kids finish it.
Yeah.
It's literally like
the
a
pyramids.
lifetime, like the pyramid. Yeah, it's like a
Like the,
lifetime project, that isn't it?
The building in Barcelona as well.
So Gaudi's cathedral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at the knowledge. I go to Google, whereas Danny just reels it. You've probably been there, have you, Danny?
I've never been actually. No,
Yeah,
I'd love
been
to
to that
go. I'd love to go there.
Some absolutely unbelievable structures there.
Well, like, you know what I was going to say, because we were going to talk about other, like in construction, we do heavily talk about like trades in this one, don't we?
yeah.
But I read something the other day. I don't know if Jay can get it up as well about China. The amount of motorways they've built since the year 2000,
and the speed.
and the speed,
I know. It's like 20 years
I'm
or
talking
something.
about like the highways
I know.
And the groundwork and all the diggers, the digger drivers,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. But I'd love to get that stuff.
Like we're still. When I say us, I mean like the Western society, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're still sort of sat scratching our heads, going, "Well, we need to do the drawings and get the planning
Well,
permission."
we built
The fucking Chinese just go bang, get it done.
and something about that building motorways, just something local to where we all sort of live.
Yeah.
The A55 riverboat cruise.
Oh, it's just a piss take.
I mean, it's a great road, but always floods. Anyone who
embarrassing.
is from this area knows that
it cost
road.
300 million, that road, right? It cost 300 million pounds.
It is a good road when it's dry.
Yeah, but that's the problem. We live in England. We live in the UK, where it doesn't really stay dry for much time. It tends to be wet more. It's a wet climate in the UK basically nowadays. Every time it rains, that road, the
Floods.
it's A555, isn't it?
A555.
It floods and they close the road.
Yeah, yeah,
It's an absolute piss take.
yeah.
Just going back to
Sorry, go on.
skyscrapers.
Yeah.
You know the Empire State Building?
Yes.
Do you know why the mast is so tall in it?
Oh no,
I
don't
do know
that.
this.
Go on.
I do know
It's
this.
because it was originally designed to be a landing pod for airships. You know the big balloon things.
Oh, what are they called?
The the Hindenburg.
The Hindenburg type.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That blew up the Hindenburg, didn't it?
It did.
Is that the reason why? So what the envisage like docking, I suppose.
Yeah, docking there.
Yeah.
Docking up there, and you sort of get off at the top. That's mad. That. Why are you laughing at docking, Danny?
Just something else of it.
Yeah,
in
it's,
the side cabin.
It's
Something else of it.
yeah. Don't Google dogging. Don't Google docking either.
Yeah.
You might see Danny's
Well,
face.
Yeah. Docking means something completely different
You'll see that on Only Dance.
in Only Dance. If you want to find out what docking is. Oh my god, I've got the picture of docking in my head now, and I can't really get out of
But
it.
no, I did read that. It's fascinating when you look at buildings and like because we're in construction, obviously, like the amount of stuff they build. The motorways in China that have been built in the last 20 years is phenomenal.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
The road structure, the bridges, I mean, if you look at China and Dubai, and you go back in, say, with Dubai, in the city of Dubai, and go back to, say, I don't know exactly, but 30, 40 years ago, it's literally like a little tiny village city type thing compared to like this sprawling metropolis, what it is now.
Yeah.
And China is the same
Yeah.
in terms of, I mean, there's something like, there's a mad stat about China and the amount of steel that they use in China compared to the rest of the world.
Oh yeah. I mean, they drove up all the scrap prices,
The copper prices, because all the
it's all going there, yeah.
more copper was being used in China than
Got one here, a 10-story building in China.
yeah.
I'm not sure what year it was, a couple of years ago. Guess how long it took them to build a 10-story building. I'll give you a bit of context. Dubbed the living building.
Yeah.
Built in modules, so it's modular.
I mean,
Each standard module was 12.19 metres, 2 metres wide and 3 metres high, up to 10 stories.
how quick?
28 hours.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely. I mean, obviously, all the prep for that has been built
In a factory.
in a factory, and we do have that sort of building over here.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Exactly.
Shout out to McDonald's.
Shout out to McDonald's. Yeah, free cheeseburger, please.
Yeah.
I think we deserve one.
Yellow.
Just for a
For
shout out.
McDonald's.
Yeah, yellow. Yeah, look out for the.
Yeah.
What are they?
Golden Arches.
Golden Arches. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the Golden Arches. Now the difference between like Chinese, you could argue to a certain extent the Germans, the way that they approach their building and their construction, and like the great city of Dubai and the speed in which that they do it compared to compared to, I'm not just saying the UK, but compared to maybe a lot of Europe. We're talking about in one of the episodes, weren't we, about the siestas, how, you know, they like to have a little bit of a sleep, the countries that take siestas and whatnot. But it's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. Where's that going to leave us in another 20, 30 years? You know, they're going to be the dominant force, aren't they? Maybe even overtake America, the Chinese.
You look when COVID were on all these cities that kept coming up in the news. You never even heard of them.
I know.
They're bigger
These
than anything.
gigantic cities. Oh, the population of 10 million. You're
Well,
like,
where it started, I'd never heard of it.
where did it start?
Wuhan.
Wuhan.
Yeah, Wuhan, yeah.
Before that, I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably the most famous city on earth. At the
Marketplace in Wuhan, wasn't it?
moment.
And also, Wuhan does have a large centre for infectious diseases.
Yeah.
Is that ironic? I don't know. I don't want to be, you know, cut off the air like Andrew Tate's just been.
Well, if
I'm not comparing our podcast to the Tate podcast, by the way.
If we're talking about COVID,
Although Andy Tate, if you listen, if you want to come on as a guest, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing.
if we're talking about COVID and construction, though, construction didn't work. It didn't stop.
Construction over COVID.
Didn't stop.
No, it didn't, did it?
Didn't
It was
stop.
one of the industries that was exempt from. You could still go to work in construction, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But a lot of the house builders shut their sites down.
For a certain amount, but
Yeah.
then domestic extensions, you know, even it wasn't like B&Q and Screwfix.
Yeah.
They were one of the first to reopen.
Yeah,
weren't they,
I was
their
in a queue.
shops?
I was in a queue.
I mean,
B&Q.
I remember when B&Q opened, they had in the one local to us. It was queuing back onto the motorway at one point.
Yeah, but there was two queues. There was one for the public and there was one for Trade Point card holders.
Everyone's buying Red Cedar
People
paint.
were like, I've got Trade Point card. Let me through, please.
Trade Point.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's mad. It seems like an age ago that we had to queue outside shops to get in.
Yeah.
And you could only buy certain amounts of items because it was like not almost like it seems like a foreign world away that now, really, doesn't it? You know,
I remember during lockdown, one of the hardest things to get hold of was decking.
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 Yeah,
Decking
yeah.
and dumbbells.
Decking.
Decking and dumbbells, yeah, because everyone was doing bits on the
And
garden and
fence
the house
paint.
and fence paint. You couldn't get all the fence paint.
Fence paint.
Everyone was like texting like secret text. Like, oh, you can get
And
fence
plaster.
paint.
Plaster.
Plaster was a nightmare, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Plaster was a night. You could not get hold of plaster.
get hold of plaster.
Didn't a bag of plaster on eBay go for like 100 quid or something?
Something
like that?
daft, yeah. They were going for
Yeah.
stupid prices, yeah.
Yeah,
at
some
point.
like out of date
Yeah,
bag
probably
of
out of date.
gypsum plaster.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's like it seems like a different world actually compared to where we are now. We're not still. I know it's not back to normality yet, but we're
Getting
pretty
there.
much
We're getting there.
We're
Yeah.
pretty much getting there now, aren't we? I'll just go back to the history of the buildings.
Oh, yeah,
So, as you'd expect, from sort of like 1569 right up to 1880, it fluctuates so much. It's churches and cathedrals. They keep bettering each other with different heights. It's like a competition between the church builders. Like, I'll make my church or my cathedral higher than your cathedral. So there's loads of different kind of Cologne Cathedral, Rouen Cathedral, in France, Church of St. Nicholas in the Netherlands. All these different cathedrals in sort of a 200-year spike compete with each other.
Weren't the Empire State Building biggest for like 30 years or something?
The Empire
like that?
State Building, I've got it right now, is actually, it's taller than the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is 930 feet, 300 meters tall. The Empire State Building is 1,046 feet. So it's about an extra sort of 100-ish, almost 80 feet taller in 1930. So that's where that starts to take over. And then from the 1930s onwards, you've got kind of really, if you like, the modern types of buildings like skyscrapers, really. That's where skyscrapers start to come into. I mean, it's interesting as well when you think about why did humans suddenly turn to skyscrapers? There's a reason behind that. And I know the reason, but why did we suddenly decide to start building skyscrapers over housing estates?
Well, it takes up less land.
Exactly. It takes up less land in a smaller footprint. So you've got a tiny little footprint compared to, say, a great big industrial park or a housing estate or whatever.
I was going to say, wonder what the largest square foot structure is.
Oh, God.
I've never,
It'd be something like an Amazon centre, I bet, or something like that.
yeah.
We were talking earlier, wasn't one of the largest housing estates
In Western Europe, in Sheffield.
is
is
in
it?
Sheffield.
Sheffield?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got the influx of council estates being built in and around major cities, but not built in the city, not necessarily in the city, on the outskirts of the city,
Yeah.
and then individuals have got to travel in. There's a lot of housing estates that surround Greater Manchester, Wythenshawe being one of them. It's an absolutely gigantic
Massive,
estate.
yeah.
If you're in like a trade, how do you get onto jobs like that? You know, like you could secure like 10 years of your work, couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's
Mike said it when he came on, didn't he? I would guess.
Yeah, they don't trend like the one that Mike's working on is a private housing
private
estate.
housing.
That's got over 1,000 houses that Red Row are building, but they don't tend to build gigantic housing estates nowadays.
No.
It's more this kind of smaller-ish, but I think they like a mixture of private tenant owners and
Haven't they got to? Isn't there some sort of law now? I
think there is,
You've got to
yeah.
I'm not actually sure about this.
yeah,
so
no, there is.
You've got to
50% purchase.
You've got to be a certain
Yeah.
amount. Have got to be like the right to buy.
yeah.
All the
Yeah,
mortgage schemes
absolutely.
that they do.
If you say live in a council house, I have a council house. After a certain amount of time, you can buy that house at a reduced rate, can't you, as well.
Yeah.
You know, you can live in the council house for a certain amount of time, and then you can. There's like swap schemes, isn't there, where you can swap the house that you've got with perhaps another tenant in a larger house or even a smaller house.
Just going back to sort of like, what we said about multi-traders before.
Yeah.
Like you'll find a lot of like people who used to be, who used to work for the council, or they used to call them council joiners, bricklayers, trades, or whatever. They did do a lot of maintenance, and I think now they don't really build the big council estates, but there's still a lot of so-called council estates.
Yeah.
Where people work and they send them out to private builders, but really
It's because they never know what
maintenance.
job's going to happen next.
Yeah.
One minute someone's put the fist through the wall, so they've got to be a plasterer.
Yeah.
The next minute they've got to be a joiner because there's a door hanging off.
Yeah.
Then there's a window been put through. Then there's an electrical problem. So they've got to wear a different hat every day, haven't they?
Yeah.
So is maintenance a trade?
Depends who the person is.
It's a great shout.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You've seen some bad maintenance people. Sure.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
The thing is,
Then, if you just look at laws of how good the best people are, there's bound to be someone who's good at every trade and can do them all.
Yeah. So, because there is a maintenance qualification.
Yeah.
You can go to college and you can do an apprenticeship.
quite popular.
Yeah, it's very popular.
In fact, I believe the funding on that, I'm not actually sure, so I'm not going to state it, but
Yeah.
I believe the funding for maintenance now
yeah,
maybe
for maintenance learners
may be higher
Yeah.
than it is for trades.
for certain other trades.
certain trades.
You're probably quite correct, Annie.
Yeah.
There's a qualification in it.
Yeah.
You can go to a college and do an apprenticeship to be a maintenance operative.
I think what it is with maintenance, in my experience, like I've done bits of maintenance work, is that I would say I'm good in some areas. So, decent joiner, decent plumber.
Painter.
No, hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Hate painting.
I hate painting. I hate plastering.
You're a bit of
don't
a
like
frustrated
bricklaying.
plumber because I've noticed you do a bit of plumbing.
I don't mind plumbing.
Push fit plumbing though.
Jo-
No soldering.
no, crimping.
Crimping. Oh my god, them crimping machines are out of this world.
We should get one on. We've
should-
got a guest who's got one.
Oh, we should get a
Don't
crimping
think he'll come
machine on.
Yeah,
What
So-
does that do?
Oh, Jay, they're amazing.
it's incredible.
So you know how when say you're using copper piping, and the old days you would have to solder one pipe to another pipe with a coupling, using like the solder. So you'd have to heat it up, solder it, and that makes it watertight. Now a crimping machine just
It's like a push fit copper pipe.
the
copper and an
tightens
elbow.
the fitting around the pipe,
But it like
no flame.
crushes it like onto the pipe.
Oh,
Perfect.
incredible. We should get one on the show.
And but it looks very, very neat and tidy.
Oh, they're beautiful. About £1,000 each, though.
Yeah, I've
they
used
are.
one, but I've never.
I used
actually-
one at my house with a plumber when he
Yeah.
was doing my boiler.
Yeah.
He let me use. I was like, "Can I have a go at that?"
Yeah.
And he's like,
It was
"Yeah, but just be
incredible.
careful."
You sound like you've been a bit excited. What's the most excited you've ever been in on your job and stuff? That's
Do
interesting.
you know what though?
So I bet there's a lot of doom and gloom, but I bet there's times where
Yeah, there's a load of doom and gloom. There is. I love to watch other trades because I'm a bricklayer. You're a joiner. I do genuinely love to sit and watch other trades, and that's obviously how you learn to be maybe a little bit maintenancey, and you can turn your hand to a certain thing, but you know, you could never call yourself a plasterer or a scaffolder or a joiner. Well, you could call yourself a joiner. Sorry, Dan. That was a fraudulent slip there.
No, it's interesting. These elements of like, for me, if I watch a brickie, it's cornering up.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I like
that's
how
where
they
you gotta
corner
be
it up and get
Yeah.
the joints right. For an electrician, it's when they're at the mains board.
Yeah.
Like remembering connecting it all up to the correct.
Unbelievable.
For a plumber at a boiler
Yeah.
or like doing all
Breaking up a turd.
Yeah.
A groundwork
looking.
it might be like the drainage side of things.
drainage, working out the
concrete,
the levels,
concrete
for
levels.
concreting.
Yeah. Block paving.
You know, there's-
You know, sorry to interrupt. I'm conscious we don't talk about people. For example, like we've got plant operators, so you know, digger drivers.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a trade in itself.
Brilliant. Yeah.
We've there's slinger men, there's crane operators that we never really mention. All these other wider construction trade people that we never really kind of talk about. You know, and we always get comments saying, "What about us? What?" We don't like
yeah.
to. Don't like to-
You know what? In fact, I'd like more comments on specific jobs within construction, so they can comment on it and we can talk about it a bit more. So, like, if there's anything you don't feel like we mention, why don't they mention? They
How do
mention
they do that?
Yeah. How do they get in touch with us?
Inquiries at the site podcast.co.uk.
Yes, that was pretty good.
I did read it.
That was pretty good, but you read it. Yeah, you read it. I was just while we're talking, I was just interested. Being from not from construction, right? So you're at home tomorrow, and something happens at home, and you need to call a trade. What do you do? Do you tackle the job yourself? Do you ever go at it yourself?
It depends what it
I
is.
think
It's-
Jay would.
Yeah,
Do you reckon he
I'll
would?
give anything a go on.
Do you have? And this is not to take the piss. I'm just genuinely interested. Do you have like a little toolkit at home?
I don't, but the only reason I don't is because I know someone who could get me anything. I think.
Yeah, I
That's
know
the
what you
only
mean.
thing.
But doesn't every house need a screwdriver, no matter
Do you mean-
what?
Do you mean tools or anything?
Well,
Yeah, every house. No, we won't talk about that. Every house needs a screwdriver, surely.
no,
Every single
I
house.
can have a screwdriver in 5 minutes.
That's good.
So you don't have a screwdriver in your house? How do you swap batteries in kids' toys?
Don't have any kids.
Fucking
Living, that's
nightmare.
why I'm away.
Batteries in kids' toys.
Yeah.
It's the bane of my life. They do my dad. Can you swap the batteries in the Hoover? Toy Hoover. I don't know why he's got a toy Hoover. Don't ask me. Can you swap the batteries in the remote control car? Can you swap every single one you go to? It's got it screwed down tight.
But you know the amount of tools that we've got, I still don't do with a knife.
You still end up doing it with like a butter
Got
knife or
hundreds
something.
of screwdrivers.
Oh, I
and
know,
bits
yeah.
and
Because you can't be asked
compartments
going
and
to the shed or the
and
garage.
everything. And like, moved into a new house, and Lucy said to me, "Can you put these shelves up?" And I went, "I'm gonna have to get the SDS drill, or I'm gonna have to get that." And in the end, I just thought, I can't. be
For
bothered.
God's sakes!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because we sort of take it for granted that there's tools in the shed, but for all those billions of millions of people that aren't construction related, I'm going to guess that most houses in the UK would have like a little kind of toolkit within the house for little, you know, the IKEA.
That's quite good,
The
that.
IKEA cupboard that you put up,
Yeah.
or the kind of the drawer that's just starting to hang off. You know, how do you tackle it yourself? Do you go and repair it yourself, or
But you could say that how many construction people don't have a laptop to do basic admin.
millions.
I know it's different.
No.
'cause you,
No, it's true.
I don't even think I'm
Totally
not.
agree
I
with
promise you, I'm not like being. I'm not
Oh,
having a
no,
go.
yeah.
I'm not being
No, no,
sarcastic. I'm just genuinely sort of thinking like. I know my partner when she bought her first house and she still got it. I think it was the Halifax Building Society. They gave her like, as part of the welcome present to the house, they gave her like this little toolkit. I mean, and it's a shitty little toolkit, but it'll get you through.
bits.
It'll get you through a little bit. It might, be able to take a plug off and rewire a plug.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't really rewire plugs anymore, do they? But you know what I mean. That type of kind of like basic.
Well, you know,
repair.
we always talk about tools. I was going to ask Jay, from what you've seen in working with Oars and in your other friends' construction, what's your favourite tool that you've seen?
Good question.
I do like a trowel.
Oh, he loves a
There's
trowel.
an art to a trowel. isn't
Yeah,
there?
oh, he
Very
loves
nice.
it. A bricklayer's trowel or like
Yeah,
a plasterer's
bricklayer's
trowel.
trowel, yeah.
Yeah,
Bricklayer's
yes.
trowel.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's an art, just hearing that scrape on the
You
brick.
got me right here, Jay. Right here.
I mean, any
we
old
need to show you
old
some
idiot
carving.
can.
I think we need to show you a spindle mould and
Any other did it from like a piece of wood, can't they?
Yeah, wood butchers. Any idiot can do that. Yeah.
But I do love a perfectly painted, like a perfect within lines painting.
Oh yeah,
like that.
absolutely. Would you tackle a bit of painting in your own
Oh
house?
yeah, if
Would
you can pish, you can paint, can't you? Something like that.
Don't
Danny said that before the show.
Don't upset these paint decorators. Don't, because I love paint decorators. We've talked about this a lot. We've got to get one on.
I like painter and decorators. I'll go there.
Do you know what? I've got a really good friend of mine, Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. He knows exactly who he is. Paint and decorator all his life. Absolute top guy. I'm going to ask him to come on, and he's going to rip you two to shreds. He's going to attack you both. Should we get him on in the next episode?
Bring his site manager as well.
I feel
No,
like if
he's
you're
self-employed, I think, Kenny.
if you're a paint and decorator, if you've got the perfect conditions, you've got no excuse.
Yeah.
Like when Roy Keane says about goalkeepers, that's their job.
Yeah,
Like you can't.
I'm
fuck
with
that up.
me. Yeah,
And surely it happens way too much.
I know what you mean. I think paint and decorating is one of them trades where everybody else thinks it's dead easy to do. We've talked about this a lot. I know we have, but I'm a defender of them. I'm going to say it's not dead easy, not to do it properly and correctly.
no, it's
Don't, like a proper paint decorator would come in your house and go, look at the fucking state of that. There's drips on it. There's bits of brush hairs on it.
yeah. No, they would.
wallpapers on.
No, that's a good trades.
That's what I mean.
Good
That's what I mean.
tradesperson. Yeah.
That's so. Yeah, anyone can paint. Anyone can lay bricks, but can you do it correctly?
You see,
Can you do it properly?
I think if you gave someone a square meter of wall to paint,
Okay.
they'd paint it to the same standard as a.
Oh, Danny, that's a bold. That is a bold statement.
But a square meter of brickwork, they can't get it the same. That's my point.
If you want, at the end of this, I'll give out Danny's personal phone number, and all you paint decorators can text him.
So, no, if you just put a square meter there, anyone could do it. That's right. So if you taped it square,
yeah,
and
anyone
said,
could do
put
it.
paint on that
but
wall.
could they do it as neat as a professional painting and decorator?
Well, that's where the type of place they're working comes into it. That's where their knowledge and skills comes into it. But I'm saying if you was to build any wall anywhere,
Yeah.
right, not anyone could just do that.
Probably just upset like 10% of our viewership, but it doesn't matter. It's your opinion. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's fair
So
enough.
I think when they understand the meaning, they might get it.
It's absolutely fine. It's fair enough. Shall we move on to some few health and safety statistics? It's boring. It's fucking.
But it does have value, doesn't it?
It's got
Some of it's good. Some of it.
74,000 workers suffered this. Well, it's not this year. It's 2020 to 21. 74,000 construction workers suffered a work-related ill health issue in 1 year.
So
74,000. Can you remember how many people work in construction?
It'd be interesting if
8
that's
million?
self-declared or not as well. Is that?
Yeah, I think this
when
actually.
you say, like,
So before anyone has a go at us, because the stats I read out last time, I had a fucking right load of people have a go at us saying, "Where have you got these stats from?" Again, it's the .gov Office for Statistics. That's where I get the stats from. So I know that they're real and they're correct. Okay. Fatal injuries. How many people in construction died between 2020 and 2021?
I mean, well, it should be 0, but
It was 39 fatal injuries. 39 fatalities. I mean, that's a lot of people, isn't it? In 1 year that die in construction.
is that just UK?
This is only UK. Yes, it's only UK. 50% of them injuries, so 50%, sorry, them fatalities were falls from height.
Yeah.
It's the biggest, it's still the number one health and safety issue in construction, falls from height. That's what gives you the most fatalities, but also the most injuries come from falls from height as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Falls from height could be stepping off a step ladder, I suppose, incorrectly. There is also 13% of it people are injured by trapped by something.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
So that's
surprise
like that could be your finger though, like you trap your finger, or
Yeah.
some I don't know another example that maybe a door or something like that.
In fact, I know our uncle.
Lost a finger.
No, he
Talking about the one that's got 9 fingers.
no, his dad.
Oh, his dad. Yeah.
His dad told me a fantastic story about his wedding ring.
Oh yeah, go on, tell it.
And he was working away, and something dropped.
Yes.
And it landed, and the only thing that saved basically his
finger.
fingers from being stopped was his wedding ring.
Was his wedding ring,
And the
yeah.
wedding ring stopped, and they managed to.
Didn't the wedding ring bend and his
bent.
finger was damaged? But
It was damaged, but he basically would have lost like
His
2 or
finger.
3 of his fingers, say
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
his wedding ring stopped it.
Yeah, pretty cool that.
Yeah.
So, lads, get married.
So,
Oh, lasses.
oh,
lasses.
lasses.
Get married. It might save your life one day.
Don't get a diamond though.
Actually, on that, I've got some interesting statistics in a minute about divorces, the rates of divorce.
Oh, ooh.
So we'll just go through them
Right,
in a second. 11% of people are injured by, struck by, moving, including flying or falling objects. So this isn't you falling. This is something falling onto you.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Dave,
Contact.
didn't you? You've got an interesting story about that. Didn't you save someone?
You have to remind me.
Well, it was
Did
quite
save?
a famous person's son,
I've totally gone blank.
where they had a pack of brick was about to drop on them, and didn't you jump in
I can't
and push
remember.
them out of the way?
No, that's not me. Have you made
You're
that
not
up?
watching Looney Tunes or
It
something?
wasn't it Thingy's son who did from what's that band? Mike and the Mechanics.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about. I think you've got me mixed up with somebody. Another story though.
Have I?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. But I did work with him. Yeah,
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good guy. He's a stacker driver.
Sex driver.
Yeah,
and,
we should mention them more often as
Yeah.
well. To be quite
and Mike
honest
and
with you.
Mechanics, good band.
Mike and Mechanic's a great band. Back in the day,
Well, it's what you listen to, isn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wasn't there that morning. That was a very yeah. Anyway, contact with moving machinery.
Yeah.
4%.
Yeah.
Quite low actually. Perhaps think that amount of moving machinery. I mean, moving machinery is a drill.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, I thought that would have unfortunately been higher. Yeah.
that's moving machinery. Let's have a look. I mean, there's absolutely loads of statistics there. The number one, 26% slips, trips, and falls. How often do you say you keep a clean work area? Because if you don't, you're going to fall over. You're going to trip over. You're going to slip over. Injured while handling, lifting, and carrying. That's an easy one.
Would
isn't it?
that contribute to slip, trips, and falls as well?
Yeah,
Would it?
probably. Yeah, it probably would, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's sort of it for that. Do you want to hear the top 10 jobs where divorce rates are the highest?
Oh, go on.
This is interesting. Hang on, let me just open. I don't know how we get onto this. Right, so first of all, do you both think construction will be in the top 10? Oh, a construction job role.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You both think so?
Yeah.
purely because people stay away, don't they?
Okay.
People,
Yeah.
43% of dancers and choreographers get divorced.
Yeah.
That's number
yeah,
one.
Elton John was married.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise. I mean, what's that show called on BBC One? Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah. You'll love this one. 38% of massage therapists get divorced. Number two.
Yeah.
Bartenders, 38%.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
They're going to, aren't they? Because they're chatting all day, all evening, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's girls coming up to her like, oh,
Yeah,
you're
fair
single
play,
and all
yeah.
that. Yes, I'm single. Slip off the wedding ring. You know what I mean? Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a weird one. 29% of telephone operators get divorced.
Well, if they're on the phone to only dance, then
I suppose the call centers.
Food and tobacco factory workers, 29%.
Close encounter, close proximity to working
Yeah,
with each other.
maybe, yeah.
Talking all the time.
28.9% of psychiatrists get divorced.
Yeah.
That really?
28.9%.
You think they know better?
28.7%. You would actually. 28.7% of carers get divorced. Entertainers and athletes, 28.5%.
Yeah, that should be higher.
And number 10, telemarketers.
so no
Divorce
constru-
rate, 28. So construction isn't in the top 10 of divorce rates in the UK. How about that? Did you think it would be?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's not. We're not in there.
I've seen a lot of my mates' wives and they look miserable, so it's
Yeah, but we keep our partners happy by doing the odd jobs,
Shelves up.
doing the sort of odd jobs around the house, don't we?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of an interesting stat that because when I was looking at it, I thought they're gonna be in there. They're definitely gonna be in there. Construction's gonna be in there.
I'd have thought it would be. It's got a reputation, hasn't it?
Yeah, like the late hours and the
Yeah.
going out pricing
And like working away and stuff. And
Yeah, exactly. All that sort of stuff. So, I'm on the accident page now. Shall we have a look at the what tool have we got on the table today, Danny?
we've got an SDS DeWalt.
Does SDS stand for something?
DeWalt.
Is it
DeWalt. It does stand for something.
You've lost me there, Jay.
Danny doesn't know. Danny doesn't know what
What does
SDS
it do?
stands for. What does it do, Danny? Tell
Well,
us
an
what it does.
SDS drill is so you get normal drills, and this does have a normal setting on it where you can just turn it there, which is a hammer drill. So a hammer drill is where you could put like it's like a chisel, really. You just have like a hammer and bolster if you're chiseling concrete out or bits of hardcore out, whatever it might be, or block work. I don't know, you're taking something down. So you could get a chisel. You can get a chisel compartment on that. So it's just long and thin there, and then it's like got a big head on it, and that will just like hammer in. Then you've got just drilling. So if you're just drilling. Say what's interesting. Say if you were just drilling, say through like, you probably wouldn't use something this powerful, but like a tile, you'd probably just use the tile setting, the drill setting for tiles, because what you don't want to do is if you use an SDS setting, which is there.
He loves it, Danny.
He
loves
SDS,
it.
It sort of like gives it a bit more. We had the impact on the last time, similar sort of thing, really. Gives it a bit of an extra punch,
Bit of a kick. Yeah.
bit of a kick, and it's amazing, really.
The interesting thing about an SDS drill is, like with another drill, there's a chuck. So there's a 3 points that grab the drill bit. With an SDS, it's locked in. The drill bit's locked in, so it can't get out. It can't go anywhere.
It can't spin.
Can't disappear. It can't spin in the chuck.
In the chuck. So and it's like a quick reaction. So you pull that back, shove it in, let it go, bang, and you're ready. Obviously, it's like 2 points with. Should we put a drill bit in?
Have you ever considered a career in television shopping?
Oh, you'd be great in QVC, Danny, selling bits.
Well, they've got a high divorce rate, so.
Oh yeah, they have. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to stay
there you
away. It's locked in now.
This looks like an 8, 10 mil. Looks like 10 mil.
That once it's locked in,
so
lock and load.
Yeah.
So it won't come out.
And that there gives you can see where it gives
movement. It gives you a bit of bounce.
And what would you drill into with this kind of thing?
Any masonry structures. Don't go into timber because the bits aren't.
You can also put that in it.
Yeah. This is what I was saying before, Jay. This is a great.
So you can put that in it and use it as like as a chisel type thing as well.
This you put that in. You can spin it around a little bit just to get and then it'll stay in one position. And then you could like really, like
do that noise again, Danny.
Yeah.
You know, like ABS on a brake on a modern car.
Yeah.
The brakes repeatedly go off and on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bit of kick to it.
I wish we could plug it in.
Yeah.
I don't think our producer would let us plug it in.
No.
But maybe another time.
Start trying it on walls.
Yeah. Maybe for the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
We could actually get you putting some shelves up.
Yeah.
In one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
And would you be holding this up, like?
Yeah, you'd got safety glasses. Definitely wear safety glasses or goggles with this.
Yeah.
Because bits can fly off, all sorts of stuff. One thing is to mention, if you ever use one of these inside a customer's house, this is where the post-it thing can come in. It does create, when you're drilling, can create a lot of dust. And you can see with these, there's no water suppression, so it's good to wear a mask or definitely always wear glasses or goggles when you're using a drill.
Do you want to know what SDS stands for?
I'd love to know because I should know.
Yeah, it stands for Slotted Drive System.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
So it means it's the drill. We're talking about the bits going in, slotting in.
Drive, yeah.
Slotted Drive System. There you go.
I've been using them for 20 years and I did not know that.
There you go. You just found that out.
And going back to apprentices and stuff, how much will one set you back?
Well, this one's a 240. So it's just a household plug one. You can buy 110 ones. Something like this, probably in the range of around. I mean, DeWalt probably
decent in it.
Decent make
150.
Yeah, something like that.
good.
But you could buy a cheaper brand, a good one for probably something around a homemade brand like a Wix or a B&Q. Probably something like 40, 50 £50. Buy a DeWalt one. It's a good brand. It probably lasts.
Shout out to DeWalt.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Black and yellow, black and yellow. DeWalt. When are you going to sponsor us? For fuck's sake?
150.
For God's sakes.
And again, you can get 110 site version, which is just a different type of plug-in, different type of power method. And they'll set you back about that price. Yeah.
Love it, Dan.
Yeah, but
Slotted Drive System.
Slotted drive, but
you'll be telling someone that at work tomorrow, won't you? Do you know what SDS means?
Yeah, don't too right. Well. One thing I did want to bring out today.
Go on.
We touched on it briefly before.
Yeah.
It's this thing.
Yes. Oh my God.
So every site cabin.
Oh, look at that.
And every site.
Oh, look at that beauty.
Has a decent radio. Now that is a cracking radio.
I've stayed in a hotel room smaller than that, I think.
What a works radio that is.
That is a proper site radio.
That is a beautiful thing. What station would you have it on?
Pirate radio.
Of course, Pi Radio. Shout out to Pi Radio.
Shout out to Pi Radio.
Pi Radio, if you're wondering, it's where we conduct the podcast, and they provide all the cameras and the systems and the studio and the producer and everything. So shout out to Pi Radio. What a great relationship we've got with them, and we're building with them. We love them, don't we?
Yeah. But
Check them out.
These are this is you can get plug this one in, or you can get battery powered. So it's a Makita battery plug in, and it also that same battery will operate a drill.
Do you know how cool that is though? That same battery operates the tools that you use as well.
The impact drill, the SDR drills, any planers, anything, whatever Makita brand.
Tool manufacturers cotton onto that pretty quick. Let's release drills. Yeah. Let's release power tools. Let's also release a drill, and DAB drill, DAB radio. Sorry.
This in particular though is a very, very good radio. This one, it's
Bluetooth.
Fantastic. Yeah, Bluetooth. Yeah,
you can play your own songs on it.
Yeah,
it's hard wearing.
Oh yeah, take a good battery.
Sell it, Danny. Sell it like you're on QVC.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Makita.
What would that set you back?
Ooh, that particular one with the battery and charger, you're looking at the best part of 300 quid.
Oh, for a radio.
Yeah.
You can probably get one for $6.99 on the market, but it's done in after 4 weeks.
Well, in fairness, I bought one for £9 at B&M, and it's still going.
Still going. Still going. Yeah, but it's a quality piece of kit, that.
Yeah.
And a lot of construction, it's like one of the main tools nowadays, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Construction, they have the radios. They're important. Gets you through the day, doesn't it?
You need a decent radio. Get you through the day. You need to listen to something. Either if it's Pi Radio or if it's us, whatever it is, you need something to get you through the day.
The producer's absolutely loving the shout outs to Pi Radio.
Is it me or is Danny getting good at pub?
He's doing brilliant, isn't he? He's getting getting the thumbs up from Solomon.
I just don't know how to log on.
Yeah.
I do all that.
So we're not that far off sort of wrapping up, guys. But anything you want to talk about that we've missed? We've still got a few more minutes, so we're all right yet. But
I just think our plans for what's going on. I think we're
So this is episode 6. We've got 4 more episodes to come before the end of season 1. We are ending season 1. Shall we announce how we're going to end season 1?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we're ending season 1 with a live podcast. So when we say live, it's recorded live in front of a live audience. So we're going to be inviting, we think, around about 40 people, maybe 30 people. Not sure exactly on the numbers. We're probably going to sell tickets. I don't think there'll be that much, maybe £20-25 maybe. You'll be able to come. There'll be food and drink provided. You'll be able to come and sit in the audience. Obviously, we'll open it up to all our YouTube subscribers, our patrons. You'll be able to come and sit in the audience, ask us questions, watch the actual episode 10 being filmed, the end of the season, kind of a bit of a celebratory party. Maybe we'll discuss all the stuff that's been going on in all the episodes, that type of thing. Yeah. It should be... That's going to be... When's that going to be? Around... We're hoping for like early December to end season 1. Yeah. And then we'll probably start season 2 maybe end of January 2023. So we'll have a bit of Christmas break, won't we? That type of thing. So, we'll look out for us on our socials for dates and all of them things. Danny's already said how they can get in touch with us. Yeah. We're gonna do the giveaway we're gonna do a quick live in a minute and do the giveaway. So we need to sort that out. Pick a comment on YouTube for the hoodie giveaway. Oh, we've sent 2 hoodies out to Tape Slayer Reviews. Shout out to them. Thank you for doing the video that they did for us. We've also sent one out to Golden Trowel on TikTok. So we're expecting they're going to do a video for us as well, all the way over in Australia. So we sent a hoodie out to them. That's going to be fantastic.
I believe we've charted, haven't we, on the podcast?
We charted at number 59, at number 49 on the podcast charts. So on Spotify podcast charts. So we were 1 above Martin Lewis's financial podcast. So Martin Lewis, sorry mate, but we beat you by 1.
We beat Martin Lewis.
We beat Martin Lewis by 1. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
250 to go up to as well. So we're 49th. Oh, we were 49th. We obviously go in and out because we only release a podcast once a month. We want to get into that top 10, don't we? That's where we'd love to be.
Who's in the top 10? Who's in the
Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, Diary of a CEO. Yeah. Number 1 podcaster, I think, across the UK, Diary of a CEO. Crouch is around there. I think this Snog, Marry, Avoid is in the top 10 as well.
Remember that show?
Yeah, there's some absolute banging podcasts out there. So, but if you're going to search for one, search for us and tell your friends and share it. We want more subscribers. We're at just shy of 400. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's our big goal for the end of season season 1, get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're over 4 million views across all sort of platforms, and kind of TikTok's really where it's happening for us. That's been so great and successful. Some of Danny and Jacob's controversial opinions have been highly disagreed with on there.
And to be fair, we thought it'd be you be getting on.
Yeah, I know we did, didn't we? It's because I've ended up sort of kind of naturally being the host and not. I do say a few controversial things. I don't know actually. I'm trying to remain sort of middle of the road a little bit, but yeah, I think we're pretty much done for episode 6. Anything else before we go? Before we sign off?
No, see you next time.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, all good. All right. Thanks very much for listening and watching, and we'll see you on episode 7. Boom.
Interesting one, that.
That was all right. A lot of conversation in that.
Yeah.
What a chatty lot of conversation. I don't think there was too much